Well, welcome back. Earlier in the show, I spoke with the Brotherhood of Railroad Signalmen President Michael Baldwin on Congress's intervening in rail strike negotiations. The House yesterday passed a bill to avert a strike, and now it moves to the Senate. Joining me right now is Housing and Urban Development Committee member, Commerce, Science and Transportation Committee member, and Environment and Public Works Committee member, Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure, Maria.
Do you expect that bill to pass the Senate?
Well, it's unclear at this stage. I sent out a letter this morning with my colleague, Senator Kevin Cramer, encouraging our colleagues to pass the bill. It's very important to our economy that we avert a rail strike. For states like mine that send massive amounts of raw materials to other states for manufacturing, rail is essential to those workers. So if we shut down rail service, the number of workers and jobs that will be disrupted all over our economy extends well beyond the rail workers itself. It will have a ripple effect through our entire economy that we can ill afford during these times of high inflation.
Yes, I totally understand the impact of a strike, and it certainly would create massive disruption for the economy. But I want to get your take on the criticism of Congress getting involved. We talked about it here on set earlier, and one union spokesperson declared that imposing this deal denies railroad workers their right to strike, while also denying them of the benefits they would likely otherwise obtain if they were not denied their right to strike. Why deny workers their rights?
The workers have union representatives that have been negotiating with the railroads for years to try to put this deal together. There are 12 unions, and 8 or 9 of them have agreed to this deal. So to have some of the holdouts, and they are important unions that are holding out, turn to Congress to get a better deal than their own union negotiators were able to put together on their behalf, puts Congress in the situation of negotiating a labor deal instead of the unions and management. We're ill-prepared to make those decisions for them. We should just have them accept the deal that is on the table.
Well, just to be clear, 4 of the 12 unions who rejected it, they represent the majority of affected workers, and they don't want this deal because they say they're deemed essential workers. They were deemed essential workers during COVID, and they're not getting the sick day that they need. They want 15. Do you think at the end of the day that 7 sick day proposal that Nancy Pelosi put in the House bill will actually make it? Will that pass?
The 7 sick days proposal, I suspect, will not make it. You know, here's what appears to have happened. The union bosses negotiated higher salaries, 24% higher salaries, and left some of the sick days and work-life balance provisions that workers wanted on the cutting room floor when they negotiated this deal. So I think the workers' beef should be with their own union bosses who cut a deal that they're now unhappy with, and not rely on Congress to get them a better deal than their own negotiators put together.
It's a great point. Senator, I want to move on to crypto. You've been working so diligently on potential legislation. I want to talk about that. Disgraced FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried claims that he did not try to commit fraud. He's embarrassed by his mistakes, but he messed up, he said during the New York Times Dealbook Summit yesterday. Here's a bit of that. Watch.
I also, frankly, made a mistake that I feel pretty embarrassed to have made. I mean, a lot of these are, but I substantially underestimated what the scale of a market crash could look like and what the speed of it could look like.
So billions of dollars have gone missing. What do you think happened? How did this happen?
Well, I think that these were well-educated, sophisticated fraudsters. I think it's obviously fraud. So the Justice Department needs to get involved. There's a reason that they offshored most of these companies, 135 companies, in a sophisticated mess of businesses designed to obfuscate what they were doing. And what they were doing was rehypothecating, meaning lending over and over the same monies and then using customer funds to do their equity investing and their political contributions. This was just pure and simple, good old-fashioned fraud, and it needs to be handled through the criminal procedures.
But if it's good old-fashioned fraud, why is he doing the rounds this morning? He was on GMA, he was at the New York Times Summit. Why isn't he in handcuffs? Is it because he donated $40 million to Democrats?
Well, I hope that's not it, but it does have the appearance of a kid glove treatment for someone who had mesmerized the public. And isn't that typical of a really, really effective fraudster to dupe even fairly sophisticated investors? But if you look behind the curtain of FTX, they didn't have corporate boards. They didn't have good accounting procedures. They were approving expenditures with emojis. They were living in the Bahamas in a compound where a lot of inappropriate behavior was going on among the workers, and absolutely no solid financial controls for a company that was dealing in billions of dollars with sophisticated investors. And so a lot of people were duped. These people are very effective shysters, and apparently very effective shysters will be among us for many years to come. Well, this is one of them.
I was speaking with Perianne Boring earlier from the Digital Commerce, and she says, why is it that the SEC has blocked any opportunity to bring a regulated product to market, a regulated digital product to market? I mean, Senator, you've introduced a bill with New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand called the Responsible Financial Innovation Act. It would fully integrate digital assets into our existing financial system. Where does that stand? And tell us more about it.
Well, our bill is crying to be passed. The examples we're seeing where FTX and its ripple effect through the digital asset economy is a perfect indication about why our bill is so important. Our bill would put commodities in the CFTC. It would put the SEC in charge of the largest number of digital assets because they look like securities. And we need to get this bill through. So we'll be reintroducing it in January and encourage our colleagues that it is the lack of regulation in this space that is allowing things like FTX to exist without regulation. It's time for a regulatory framework that, yes, authorizes and encourages and fosters innovation, but that also provides consumer protection and disclosure.
Well, I mean, it's a little late, right? I mean, how long have you been working on this, and why haven't your colleagues brought it to the floor? Why aren't we seeing this? Is it because things like FTX and lobbyists were stopping any real legislation in terms of bringing a regulated digital product to the floor? Again, I go back to this question of he's donating $40 million to lawmakers, and they're going easy on him.
I am hopeful that the real reason that we haven't done it is because too many senators and congressmen don't understand this space, and they're not ready to tackle it just in terms of their own comfort level with it. But now, hopefully, now that they've seen how this industry running unchecked is causing a lot of financial distress that it's time to regulate it. It's time for members of the Senate and House to get educated and informed about this industry and for us to move forward. So Senator Gillibrand and I will be working starting in January with a full court press to get our legislation passed.
Senator, who should be the overseers of digital? That's another question in the market. Is it the SEC? Is it the CFTC? There's a lot of hands on deck here. Who will oversee digital assets?
Both. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission will definitely have Bitcoin because Bitcoin is clearly a commodity. It is fully decentralized. And then other assets will probably be in large part at the SEC. So we're going to have to provide them with adequate personnel and tools and guidance and statutes, and they'll have to make regulations that will allow them to conduct the adequate consumer protections that are necessary with regard to cryptocurrencies that behave like securities.
Senator, it's a great interview. We so appreciate you answering the questions that investors have. Thanks very much for being here, and come back soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.